This is a red velvet cake, or what was supposed to be a red velvet cake. As you can see, the icing didn't quite work out, but I point out my mistake in this video, so yours will turn out just fine. I've made this dessert a lot and I've never had any trouble with it, so you should totally make it. Let's get baking! Hello, this is Thomas, and today we will be making a red velvet cake. I like making this dessert a lot for celebrations and a bunch of other things because it's really delicious and fairly simple. To start, you're going to preheat your oven to 350. I like to make this cake using 3 layers, though you can do it with just 2. So I'm going to take 3 9-inch pans. 2 are actually 9-inch pans. One's slightly bigger. This is a 9-inch springform pan. I'm just going to spray these pans over the sink over there. You can also line them with parchment paper. You can also sprinkle a little cocoa powder in it and then just dump it out into the sink. Once you've finished preparing your pans, you're going to take an electric mixer, and on medium speed you're going to beat 1 stick of softened butter and 1½ cups of sugar for about a minute. Once that's all combined, you're going to add in 2 eggs, but you're going to do it one at a time and just beat for about 30 seconds after you add each one. Then you're going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Then you're going to take something you can measure things into, like a little bowl, or I'm just going to use this little measuring cup. And you're going to take 2 tablespoons of red food coloring. 2 tablespoons is the same as one of these tiny little 1-ounce bottles. Then you're going to take 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and add that in as well. Then, being very careful not to get red food coloring over the counter or your beautiful TK Desserts shirt, you're going to just mix it all together until it forms a nice little paste. You might want to use a bigger bowl than this. This is just what I've always used when I've made this dessert. Then you're going to just add that into your mixture. It looks very maroon, though it's going to get much brighter. You want to be very careful with this, not to stain things, since it does stain very easily. Come off your hands and down the faucet, but it will come off onto towels, so make sure you use paper towels when you're making this dessert. But anyways, then you're going to beat in your red food coloring mixture. Now it'll look something like that. Then you're going to take a small bowl and you're going to add 2½ cups of flour. You're also going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Stir it around with whatever you have near you. I'm just using my little teaspoon measure. Then you're going to take 1 cup of buttermilk. If you don't have any buttermilk lying around, you can just take 1 tablespoon of vinegar and then just fill that up to the 1 cup mark with milk. Then you're going to alternate, and you're going to first add in about half of your dry ingredients and just beat that in. And then you're going to add in half of your wet ingredients. Then you're going to add in the rest of your dry ingredients. Then you're going to add another tablespoon of vinegar to your wet ingredients, and then you're going to dump the rest of that in. Once your batter is done, you're going to take it off your mixer. You're going to take the remaining stuff off of your paddle attachment and just mix that all in. Then you're going to try your best to evenly distribute it among your 2 pans. Then you're going to take your spatula and just try to make it flat. Then you're going to put all 3 of your pans in the oven for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. When your cakes are done, you should take a toothpick and you should test to see if it comes out clean. If it does, then they're done. I'm gonna let these cool for about an hour and then I'll be back to make the icing and frost them. Next, you're going to make your icing for your cake. You're going to combine 1 cup of milk and 5 tablespoons of flour in a saucepan. Then you're going to take a spatula and you're just going to bring that up to a simmer. You want to keep stirring until it gets like puddingy and just chunky. I'll show you when it gets there. So you'll notice after a while that it's starting to get really thick and just look sort of weird. And that's exactly how you want it. So you're going to just take it off the heat and you're going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. My measure is dirty and I'm going to eyeball it, but you definitely should not eyeball it. And you're also going to add in a pinch of salt. And you're going to stir that all in. And then you're going to take a little bowl and you're just going to pour it into that bowl. So you're just going to try to make that as even as possible. And then you're going to take a piece of plastic wrap and you're just going to put it right on the top and you're going to press it around and go right up along the sides so that it's touching the cream. This is going to prevent a skin from forming on top of it, but now you're just going to set that off to the side until it's completely cool for like 10 minutes. While your icing is cooling, you can take a knife and just go around the edges of your pan for your cakes and make sure it's all loose. Then you can just take a big cutting board, give it a little smack, and hope it came out, which it did. So you can try to get under it on each of the sides. Okay, so more or less that came out. There's a little rip down there, but it'll be okay. So then, I don't have a cake leveler, but I'm going to just take a serrated knife and try to make it as flat as I can without cutting myself. You're not going to need these, so you should eat them. Then you can take a cake stand or whatever and just put your first layer down on it. Something I've always done is just taken little bits of wax paper and put them under the cake so that when you're icing it, you don't get your little platter all messy. Once you've leveled off all your cakes, you can just set that off to the side. Then you're going to need your mixer again, and you're going to put in it stick of softened butter, along with 1 cup of sugar. Then you're going to beat that on medium speed for about 5 minutes. After you've let that beat for 5 minutes, you're going to add in your cooled flour milk mixture while it's on medium speed, a little bit at a time. Wasn't coming together, and then I realized that you actually needed 2 sticks of softened butter, not 1. So I'm going to try adding that in now and see what happens. It's been a little while and this other stick's softened, so let's see if it works. Now I'm going to take it off, and then I'm going to take my cake, and I'm going to take a bunch of different like icing spreaders and a pastry brush just to brush off some of those crumbs. And then you're going to take one of your little icing things and you're just going to scoop some on. And you can add more layers as you go. Then I like to put my 3rd layer on upside down. And I'm just going to put on a little teeny thin layer. And then just pop it in the fridge for a little while and then do another layer. Okay, something happened with this. I have to stop this video. This isn't working. I'll just have to make something else later in the week. So the icing didn't really work out, so I'm not going to try to do 2 layers. I'm just going to try to do 1. But it doesn't really matter how mine works, since yours will almost certainly be better than this. And if you remember to put in all that butter, then you'll be fine. But this video will still probably teach you how to make this dessert, which is mainly the purpose, even if the model doesn't really look so great. But I've made this dessert a lot before, and this is probably the worst thing to cook. This icing is way too thin. Okay, well, I'm pretty much done. I'm not actually going to film me eating it because it doesn't look so great. It's just this icing was way too thin because I didn't put in all the butter at the right time, but whatever, things happen, so this will be fine. It'll probably still taste good, but it's a pretty easy dessert and it tastes delicious, and I'm going to go eat this now.